Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Forecast, the StormTracker8. And, of course, I'm StormTracker8 meteorologist Matt DiNardo with my counterpart, StormTracker8 meteorologist Madison Ohms. And, Madison, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great. We're a little warmer, so I'm not complaining about that. I just wish we had some sunshine.
It's trying to break out. It's having a tough time doing so, but we are going to get more sunshine at least over the next couple of days.
Yes.
So that'll be good. That'll help to push our temperatures up, and we'll be talking about that quite a bit. We have a pretty interesting set of things to talk about. You mentioned the warm weather. That's one thing. We're going to talk a little bit about that lake effect snow and now the next system coming in and how that's going to be an impact. And then you were looking at a system in the Pacific Northwest as well.
Yes, they're seeming to get a lot of rain, even some snow out there too. So I'm hoping we can break that down just a little bit more as well.
So we'll do that, and maybe, just maybe, the first severe weather outbreak of the season for some parts of the country. I'm going to bring up the maps. We're going to start in the Northeast. There is a system that is to our northwest, moving across portions of Chicago as of this morning and heading into the Northeast. And the reason why we bring this up, and I think this is really interesting, because that system is going to spread rain into upstate New York. And now you think about this, Madison, they had all of that snow over the past weekend, from New Year's into the weekend, some places 30, 40, 50, 60 inches of snow. And now they're going to get rain on top of it, and that's going to weigh the snow down. So there will be the potential for roofs in some areas, if they're not shoveled off, to collapse. That could be a big issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And seeing the rainfall amounts, I'm sure you have something prepared to show us how much rain they're anticipated to get in addition to that snowfall that they had. So that is a huge risk. Could that even cause some flooding in the area with all of that moisture and liquid precipitation?
Yeah, and so they're also going to get warm. Now, warm for them might push them into the 40s and 50s, but that allows snow melt. So, yeah, the rivers and streams will rise across portions of upstate New York and New England. You mentioned those rainfall amounts. You see some places from Buffalo to Rochester to Oswego where they saw that snow, upwards of maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain right along the lakeshore there. And, again, that's got weight sticking into the snow, so that could be a problem. Plus, again, as we talked about, the rivers, lakes, and streams could really rise. So big-time impacts there for New York. But they'll cool down, too. They'll get that chill soon, as we know. So,
no doubt.
Something to talk about. All right, let's talk about the Pacific Northwest here. Interesting setup going on.
Yeah, so we have this upper-level system. It's coming out of the Pacific onto the land. And you can see, especially in areas near Seattle and Portland, they're expected to be seeing a lot of rainfall there, but then we get into a little bit of the blues. So by the morning hours, that system is finally starting to move in, but come the afternoon, that's when the rainfall is really going to hit them, and even some snowfall as well. We are seeing very mountainous regions, so the more lifting that you have, those cooler temperatures, that rain's going to turn into snow in some areas, and that's just going to keep on moving throughout the afternoon hours as this system keeps moving off of the coast, or from the coast, I should say.
Inland, yeah.
And then heading into the evening, the snow and the rain is just going to continue. Maybe lighten up a little bit in areas near Seattle, but it's even heading into Idaho, Montana, those most western portions of it. So.
Yeah, and those mountains, of course, need the snow because that helps later on in the spring when the snow melts to get things, the rivers and lakes and streams filled with water and stuff like that, rather than going into a pretty big drought. And you notice underneath where it says evening, there's another system there coming out of the Gulf of Alaska. So it's like the parade of storms for the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it's almost never ending for a little bit anyways.
Yeah. So you can see that one system in Seattle we just talked about. The next system we're going to talk about is the one dropping from San Francisco all the way down to Los Angeles. This is the one that in part is going to bring us our mild weather.
Yes, so we are going to see these systems keep moving, closer and closer to us. So they're all out west right now. But then this system, we see portions of it over Albuquerque, New Mexico come Thursday. And then we see a lot of that rainfall over the Midwest, near Iowa, Illinois, closer to Chicago, portions of Wisconsin. And then that's going to keep on moving along. And that line of storms, or at least showers for many of us, it's going to stretch all the way down, heading closer to the Gulf of Mexico. So it's stemming all the way out in California, and it's just moving along closer and closer to us.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a storm threat out there. So as this rain keeps on moving through, we're going to get those impacts here in central Virginia, but it's going to be very isolated and scattered showers once it finally makes its way here.
Yeah.
Other areas are going to see bigger impacts.
And we're not looking for really any showers here until maybe Friday evening. Then as we're showing here Saturday morning, we have some showers. And even though that looks really good to the west, as we put the maps in motion one more time, you kind of see that kind of falls apart a bit. So I don't think Saturday's a washout. It's more scattered showers throughout the day. It's probably not the greatest of days to be outside for the full length of it. You'll have to kind of dodge some showers at times.
No, I think keeping the rain gear on hand is going to be key. Even heading into Sunday, those showers aren't ending on Saturday. I think we could still see a few isolated or scattered showers throughout Saturday night heading into Sunday. Some of our models are in full agreement right now, so it could move out even quicker than Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and we're showing here, it looks like the new models are fully coming in now, that it has moved off the coast, which is good through Sunday afternoon. And then we'll clear the skies out and we'll get some sunshine back for Monday, but then we go back to the cooler stuff. You mentioned this, and I think it's important to talk about here, because that system, as it develops from Thursday into Friday, heading up into the Great Lakes, the trailing cold front, moving through western sections of Tennessee, western Mississippi, eastern Arkansas, even a good portion of Louisiana, might see the first severe weather outbreak of 2026. Now, do we think this is going to be some ginormous outbreak? No. There's about a 15% chance of seeing some storms that might be severe. When we look at the 4-day outlook here, so it's a bit away from that. Yeah,
and I want to note, it's not here at home that we're experiencing this. This is farther away from us, closer to Mississippi, Louisiana, portions of Arkansas. So this isn't, I think we are going to see rain from that same system, but we're not going to be seeing severe weather.
Correct. Yeah, there's not a severe weather setup first, but it is going to continue to push the warm air, the southerly flow in here. And you see today already that subtropical jet is over us. That's why we went from mid-40s yesterday into the upper 50s to near 60 as we're talking about right now. In fact, let me bring up the temperatures just to give people an idea. As of this recording, which is, as you see on the screen there, 145, we're now 61 in Richmond. You know, we have 60s back to Nashville. We're near 80 in Brownsville, and that warm air will continue to stream up all the way through Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pleasant warming. I'm not complaining about the warmer temperatures, but it is very unusual for this time of year, and compared to yesterday especially, we are much, much warmer. I think in some areas, some of us, in Farmville, 21 degrees warmer than at this point yesterday. This is our 24-hour temperature change here in Richmond, 17 degrees warmer in Crew. It's feeling a little toasty. I don't want to say toasty, but it's abnormal for this year, especially compared to yesterday.
Well, yeah, compared to yesterday, or if you think back, to mid-December when we had the snowstorms, So, I mean, normally we should be sitting about 48 for a high, so we're way above that right now. So that's kind of nice. All right, let's talk about that 8-day outlook here. So obviously we're ahead of what we were forecasting today. That happens, right? And that's fine. Nobody's going to complain about that. Tomorrow and Thursday, we talked about the sunshine coming on in. That puts us back at least into the mid-60s tomorrow, maybe low 60s on Thursday. Then that system's coming in for Friday.
Yes, we are still going to see those rain showers, but the way the timing's working out, I'm anticipating late day showers for Friday. And then Saturday, that's when we saw the bulk of that system passing through, and then maybe a few lingering showers clearing out by the afternoon on Sunday at the very latest, if not only seeing them in the morning there. And then we start to cool off again, so hopefully people are okay seeing more seasonable temperatures, but I think we're a little spoiled this week.
Yeah, this week is definitely one that we are spoiled from. And beyond that, we are watching for those normal temperatures to kind of hang around for a while through most of next week. And there still are some signs that we might cool down by the end of the month. We'll watch that trend and see if it truly does happen. Anything else we want to talk about there, Madison?
I think we covered it all pretty well. I'm happy to see the sunshine these next few days after those clouds that have been hanging around. And then I know it's well-needed rain as well. So even though we might not be a huge fan of those dreary days, it will help us out.
It will help for sure. Madison, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone out there for watching Beyond the Forecast, StormTracker8.